all collectors. I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art, and I'm here with the esteemed, the inimitable.
Already fucked it up.
Tom King, a writer extraordinaire at DC that's doing all the big titles. But we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about, Tom, what was that genesis that got you into comics back in the day?
My first comic, my first comic was Avengers 300.
Okay.
I got it the classic way my generation mostly got comics. My mother was stopping for cigarettes and was trying to keep me calm and threw a comic at me.
That's that gold foil Vision one, right?
It's known as a terrible comic. It's written by Walter Simonson, who's right over there. Yeah. John Buscema, Tom Palmer. I have 4 pages from it. So if you ever find pages from Avengers 300, I'll get it from
okay, that's awesome. So when you read it, what did you think? Was there a sequence of events that led you to being in comics, or did you major in writing in college, or?
So I wanted to become a comic book writer. My mother did not, so go become a lawyer. I interned at DC and Marvel in college, and then I graduated as Marvel went bankrupt, and they're like, comics are dead, go to something else.
That was early 90s?
2000.
Oh, 2000?
2000.
That was one of the sequential bankruptcies.
One of the sequential bankruptcies. And then I went to become a lawyer, then I let it happen, I joined the CIA.
That's when Toy Biz bought them.
Yeah.
And then just placeholder the property so that he could put the toys out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what, and then the whole Bendis Miller generation came in and revamped everything, and the movies and comics came back, and I was in the CIA, and I got work. I wrote a novel.
You were in the CIA?
You didn't know that about me?
The Central Intelligence Agency?
That's how I spent my 20s. I was thinner, I had hair, it was a whole different thing.
You were a field agent, or
I was a field agent, yeah. I was in Iraq and on the Afghan-Pak border.
No way. No, thank you for your service. That's amazing. I did not know that.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's how.
So you've seen some stuff.
I've seen some stuff out in.
Well, that kind of perspective on life and
it drives you insane. That's how you end up being a comic art collector. That's what you have to do. You have to compensate for the PTSD.
Well, I've had some traumas in my life, so I think that's what helps give me perspective and appreciate what I have in life.
How did you start? What was your first page you got?
Well, I have a genesis story which I still remember to this day. I went to the 7-Eleven in 1974, 75, when the week Giant Size 1 came out. And I pulled that and looked at that off the spinner rack, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be a good one.
That cover.
And I bought 2 of them. And I might have only had like $2 to my name, but I bought 2 Giant Size 1 X-Men's, and it's that instinct that built this business.
You still have those comics?
No, I sold my collection.
Oh, what happened with that instinct?
Yeah, unfortunately I did sell my collection. I mean, when it was like, boom, 7th grade it ended, when I hit puberty.
My collection died classically in my mother's basement from mildew.
Oh, no. Well, at least I sold mine.
I think it was like 13 long boxes.
I got ripped off back in the day, but, I wanted some money to go to New York and try to be an actor. Boy, and I actually did some auditions that summer. I remember I auditioned for the Superboy movie and the original Baywatch cast, but I was a horrible auditioner. I was,
So you could have been Superboy? Is that what you're sure?
I was probably too ethnic, because of my Greek heritage. They wanted somebody that looked like a young Christopher Reeve. I know I auditioned with Mary Jo Slater, which is Christian Slater and Helen Slater's mom, and she hit on me big time and got me so ruffled that I've told her this story a few times.
You look like she's heard it once.
Yeah. She got me so just flabbergasted. I gave a horrible audition, and then she's like, well, I don't want to have dinner with you anymore.
Well done.
That's funny. No, but I bet that your life experience and that sort of being involved in those sort of serious world events is what really gave you a solid background in your writing in a way that separates you from the rest, and it's showing in your career.
I mean, it helps to be a writer if you've lived some life,
right? Well, what would Hemingway be without his life experiences? His old books were just about what he did.
Yeah, if he hadn't gone to World War I, drove that ambulance, where would Hemingway be? Absolutely.
Yeah. Or would have been such a sport fisherman, he wouldn't have rowed on Man with the Sea, all that stuff. So that's
why now I only write about collecting comic art. That's all my books are about.
Well, I love that you're a comic book art collector because you're good for business. Thank you, Mr. Tom King, for spending a couple minutes with me. I'm Anthony's Comic Book Art and the inimitable Tom King.
Thank you, Superboy.